Okay, so welcome back, and in this presentation we'll be looking into the different criteria upon which the classification was made. Okay. So I hope you remember the classification made by Hickman and Roberts. This kingdom Animalia, it is divided into two subkingdoms, right? And subkingdom Metazoa is further divided into two divisions, Parazoa and Eumetazoa. And we can see that these Parazoa, they comprise multicellular organisms, and they are more complex than mesozoans. Obviously, mesozoans are more complex, have a more complex structure, and slightly more advanced than protozoans. Parazoans are slightly more advanced than mesozoans. Okay, and the different other structures which we'll be looking in detail in the coming slides. Okay, then the eumetazoa. They include the complex metazoans, and they are considered to be the true animals. Okay, EU refers to true, isn't it? They are true animals, considered to be true animals, and they have a high degree of structural differentiation, functional specialization, more advanced group of metazoans. Okay, so I hope you remember this particular classification. Fine. So we will pass on to the different uh, criteria upon which the classification is made. Okay, so we have made the classification, but what are the different vertical characters we have taken into consideration during the classification? So that is what we are going to learn. The first one is grades of organization. Okay, so when we look into the grades of organization, there are three basic grades of organization or levels of organization in animals. Okay, the simplest one is the cellular level. In the cellular level of organization, the body is composed of loose cell aggregates. Okay, there are more than one cell, obviously, right? They are multicellular, but the cells, they don't form a compact tissue-like structure. Okay, they are just cells which have come together to form an aggregation. Right? There is no coordination between the cells. Okay, all the cells, they just come together, stay together, but each of them function independently. Clear? Okay, so in cellular organization, we can see that body is composed of loose cell aggregates or loose cells, and the cells are not organized to form tissues or further high into organs. Okay, we can see there are different kinds of cells, but these cells, they function independently. We don't find any coordination between the cells, no linking, no coordination between the cells. Okay, so here what we can find is there won't be any muscular coordination or nervous coordination in the cellular level of organization. Okay, it includes, if we see this one, it includes the mesozoans and the primitive metazoans. Here, so these two, right? That is Orthonectida, Rhombozoa, and Porifera comes under the cellular level of organization. Okay. Now, next higher level is the tissue level. I hope you know what is a tissue. Tissue, it is actually group of cells which are what you call programmed to perform the same function, isn't it? So, tissue, it is actually an organized group of cells that perform specific function. Okay, specialized to form a specific function. That is a tissue. So, in tissue level of organization, we can see that there are multicellular structure. There is a multicellular structure, and the cells are organized into tissues. Okay, they are modified. I mean, they are here. What happens is the cells come together, they form tissues. Okay, so there may be different kinds of cells, and those cells which perform specific function, they come together to form a tissue, right? So there is no organ level of organs developed. Okay, we cannot find any organs developed. Tissues are not what you call forming any organs or organ systems, right? So here we can see the muscle cells, we can find the nerve cells, and hence there is coordination between the cells that perform specific function. So there is coordination between the cells of a similar tissue. Okay, and you can find tissue level of organization in the grade radiata. Okay, so we have already seen the parazoa and subkingdom mesozoa do have cellular level of organization, isn't it? While grade radiata under the eumetazoa, they have tissue level of organization. Okay, and the highest level of organization is considered to be organ level or organ system level. Here what happens? Cells are organized into tissues, and tissues are organized into organs. Okay, or organs into organ systems. Right, this is considered to be the highest level of organization. And here what you call the organs and organ systems, they do have coordination. Fine. So here you can see there is nervous system or what you call organ formation, etc. Okay, so that is the organ level of organization which is exhibited by all the members of grade bilateria. Okay, clear. So a major group of kingdom Animalia exhibits the organ level of organization. Okay, so it is exhibited by acylomate bilateria, pseudocoelomate bilateria, and eocoelomate bilateria. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now next concept is regarding the germ layers. Okay. Now what is a germ layer? Here you can see uh, this is actually the male gamete and the female gamete. Okay. Once the male gamete fertilizes the female gamete, it forms what is known as a zygote. Right. Zygote, it is a single cell structure. Right. During the course of its development, what happens? The zygote undergoes division. Okay. A single cell, it divides into two, forms a two cell structure. The two cells again divides, so we get a four cell structure, and likewise it continues its what you call division till it attains maybe like 32 or 64 cell stage. Okay, once it reaches there, what happens is the cells move in such a way that it forms a structure like this. Okay, the cells move uh, with respect to each other and forms a structure like this with a small coelom, a cavity in between. Okay, so this is actually a section. Okay, so you have to visualize it as a ball of cells with a cavity inside. Clear? Okay, this is just a section of that. Right? So there will be it is a ball of cells with a cavity inside. Okay, this particular stage is known as blastula. And what is the cavity inside then? It is a blastocele. Clear? Okay, you can see different coloration, isn't it? Why? Because in the later stage, what happens is this the cells in this particular stage, the blastula, it moves in such a way that the cells occupy different layers. Okay, it could be 2 layers or 3 layers. Okay, and each of these layers, they are destined to become a particular organ or a particular cell in the future what you call full grown individual. Okay, for example, here you can see 3 layers. Okay, a blue colored layer, almost a red colored layer, and a slight orange or yellowish colored layer inside. Right, so these are the 3 layers of cells. Okay, the outermost layer is known as the ectoderm. Okay, the innermost layer is known as the endoderm, and the middle layer, it is known as the mesoderm. Ectoderm always develops into, you can see, the skin and nervous system and the organs associated with the nervous system, sensory structures, etc. Clear? Okay. What about the endoderm? Endoderm usually encloses a cavity inside. Okay, and this cavity inside is destined to become the alimentary canal. Fine. So what happens to the endoderm? Endoderm develops into the digestive tract, alimentary tract. Okay, all the parts of the alimentary tract. It also develops into the respiratory tube because these two are connected, isn't it? So these two what you call structures are developed from the endodermal lining, right? And what about the middle one, mesoderm? Okay, all the other structures, right? You can see the bones, the cartilage, the kidney, the blood, the connective tissue, all these muscles, all these are formed from the mesoderm, right? So the layers of cells in the embryonic stage is what is known as the germ layer. Clear? Okay. Here germ layer it refers to the embryonic stage. Okay. So germ layers are the embryonic cell layers at the gastrula stage. Okay. This needn't be the case with all the animals. Okay. This differs, but just to understand what are the germ layers, I have just taken a figure. In the case of higher animals, this is the condition, which do have 3 layers in its gastrula stage. Okay, that is ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm in the sequence. Okay, so this is how it will be in the higher body, higher animal groups. Okay, but this needn't be the case in all the animals, right? What happens in other animals? Okay, so germ layers, as we have seen, it is actually the cell layers during the embryonic stage, especially at the gastrula stage. Okay, based on the the presence and absence of different layers in the embryonic stage, we can find two kinds of eumetazoans. Okay, I repeat it. It is actually eumetazoans. So eumetazoans can be divided into two based upon the number of germ layers during the embryonic stage. Right. So it is the eumetazoans alone. I hope you are getting the point. Okay. So can see that only the eumetazoans are divided into eumetazoans are not so, it's not easy to write. Okay. So eumetazoans can be grouped into or can be divided into two based upon the germ layers present. One is the diploblastic and the other is the triploblastic. Okay. The diploblastica, you can see in diploblastica, the animals which do have diploblastic condition, they are known as diploblastic. Okay. So in diploblastica, there are two germ layers. Fine, you can see here there is endoderm as well as ectoderm. Okay, these are cell layers. This layer is formed of a layer, one or two layers of cells. This yet another group of cell layer. In between, they won't be having any cells. Okay, in between the ectoderm and endoderm, there won't be any cell. And here, instead of cells, there will be non-cellular jelly-like substance. Okay, and this jelly-like substance is known as mesoglia. It is known as mesoglia. So in diploblastic condition, what happens is there will be ectoderm and endoderm with mesoglia, which is actually a non-cellular layer. Okay, it is jelly-like substance. Fine. So that forms the middle layer. Okay, it is actually non-cellular layer. So this is the mesoglia. Fine. Now what happens to a triploblastic condition? Okay, in triploblastic condition, on the other hand, ectoderm will be there, endoderm will be there, and in between there is cellular mesoderm, just like what we have seen in this particular state. Okay, in this particular gastrula. Okay, so here in this gastrula, what we have seen, there are three layers. All the cell layers are there. Okay, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So when all the three cellular layers are present in the embryonic stage, we call that as a triploblastic condition. Okay, so now where they are found? Okay, diploblastic condition is found in the lower groups of eumetazoans. That is, they are found in what we call the Nigeria. Okay, we can find it in different kinds of Nigerians. I mean, different groups of Nigerians. Fine. In triploblast, what you call Nigerians as well as Ctenophora. Okay, so we can see the yeah, here you can see. Okay, so we can see the what you call diploblastic condition in the radiata group. Okay, Nigeria as well as Ctenophora. Okay, among the eumetazoans, all other animals, they possess triploblastic condition having three different separate germ layers. Okay, that is radiata. They are diploblastic in condition, while bilateria they are triploblastic in condition. I hope it is clear. Okay, and we have already seen that in the triploblastic condition, that is in bilateria, which includes even human beings. Okay, the ectoderm, it gives rise to what all structures? The nervous system, uh, sensory structures, and the epidermis, that is the skin structures. Clear? Okay, so it gives rise to body wall, the central nervous system, the sensory structures, etc. Now, the same ectoderm also lines or give rise to the mouth, buccal cavity, etc. And similarly, the final portion of the alimentary canal. Okay, the last portion of the alimentary canal, which includes the rectum, anus, etc. Okay, mesoderm, it gives rise to the other structures. Okay, that is, it includes the connective tissues like blood, bones, cartilage, then what do you call the excretory system, the kidneys and all. Okay, reproductive system, etc. Okay, now endoderm, it gives rise to the digestive glands, digestive tract, digestive glands, respiratory tract, and the digestive glands associated with that. Clear? Okay, so this was with respect to the um, germ layer.